Hi students, you are again with Assistant Professor Farzana Nadab from Abida Inamdar Senior College BCA Science Department, and we are learning C++ programming. Okay, and we are in Unit 3 classes and object, and from that we have discussed first three topics, and today we will see what is static data members and what are the static member functions. Okay, let's move towards the topic. Okay, so before starting with definition, let us consider one scenario. Okay, what is the scenario? So, if you have, let's say, student class with roll number and name. So, when you create object of the student class, each object or each student will have their own roll number and name, right? Okay, that means value for roll number and name will be different for each object. Yes, and though we can see only one declaration for roll number and name, but still each object will have the separate copy of the variables. Yes, okay. Now let's say if I want to count the number of students. Okay, number of students if I want to count, I require one variable count. Clear? Now if I create or if I declare this count variable as a general variable, so again the each object will take the count as a separate copy of variable, correct, like student roll number and student name. But we don't want count to be taken as separate copy, we want count as a common variable which should count the number of objects created. Okay, number of students in the class. Okay, so in that case we need to declare count as static, because when you declare any variable as static, it is common for all the objects, and it can be used as a globally for entire class. Understood? So this is the purpose of static data member or static member function. Understood? So I hope it is clear by this scenario. It is clear what I want to explain you about this concept. Okay. So static data members are, it stores the common value for entire class, and you can access it globally for the same class, all the objects can access. And static data members maintains a single copy which can be shared by all the object of the class. Okay, how to declare static data members? Static keyword is used to declare the static data members. Static data type and the variable name. Understood? Now next is static member function. Static member functions can access only static data members. Okay, and it is same like static data members. Now to invoke the static member function, the class name is used in place of object name. Okay, so till now we have used obj dot. Yes, so instead of obj we have to use what class name to call the static member functions. Okay, with the help of scope resolution operator. Okay, syntax, for example, this is this class name scope resolution operator and then the function name. In this way you will call what? Static data functions. Okay, static member functions. And the syntax for declaring static member function is static return type function name. Clear? Now we will do one program to explain you how to use static data member and static member function. Okay. Okay, let's go. So today's question is to read book info like book ID and price and display the count of how many objects for book is created. Okay. Now starting with the program, hash include IO stream. Yes. After that we'll use what? Using namespace std. Okay, then we have to define a class. Let me define one class, book. Okay, in this class we have what? Data members and member functions. Okay, so we require two data members. What? One is book id and one is book price. Okay, so I am taking int bid and I am taking one float variable for price. Okay, two variables I have. Then I want to add functions here. Okay, so public void accept. Okay, in void accept I am writing, accepting the information for book. So cid enter book id and price. Okay, and l. Yes, then we will read this in variable bid and price. Clear this much? Okay, now after this we need to display this information, book id and book price. So I am writing one more function, void display. Okay, in display function we are displaying the information for book. So let's say book id is in the variable bid. Okay, and okay, sorry, and we have to display what, book price also. So let me copy this, and here instead of book id, price. Okay, and here we have variable price. Clear this much? So we are displaying book information, and the third part of our program is main function. So int main. Okay, in main first we create the object, so book obj. Okay, and using obj dot we are accepting the information, and and we are displaying that information, right? So obj dot next is display. Clear? Okay, so this is our basic program. Let us execute this. Okay, let me save this first. Static will give this as static. Okay, save. Now let me compile this and execute. So enter book id and price. So I'm entering book id as 1 and price as 5000. So this is my basic program for accepting and displaying the information. Clear? Now I want to count the number of books created. So if I create here obj1, so this is my first object. If I create obj2, this is my second object. Okay, so first if I create one object, so I have one book. Clear? Now we want to count the number of number of objects created for books. Okay, so for that we require what? Static data member, correct? So let me declare one static data member globally. So with the help of static keyword, static, and I am declaring static int count to count the number of books or number of objects. Okay, static int count. Now we have to define what? Static member function also. So I am defining here static uh, void count book. Okay, this is my static member function, and in this okay, so in this I want to count the number of books. Okay, so let me have count. We need to increment the count for each object created, correct, and display the count. So I am writing here count number of books created, oh sorry, number of books till now is count. Understood? So this is my static variable, static data member, or static variable and static member function. Understood? Okay, now if I want to call this, okay, now we need to call this function. So for that, instead of object name we use what? Instead of object name we use what? Class name. So class name book scope resolution operator, and the function name is count book. Yes, so we require here count book. This is our function. Okay, and let me create, okay, let me execute this much first. So this is extra, I think. Okay, save it again. Okay, enter book 1 and book price is 5000. So book 1 and number of books till now is 1. Okay, now let us create one more object. So we'll repeat this. Okay, here I am creating second object, object 2, and object 2. Clear? And we will call this count function again. Okay, to increment the count. Once you create the object, you need to increment the count, correct? And now let us create one more object. Okay, we'll repeat the same thing for book 3. So till now we have 3 books. Okay, so 3 objects are created for book. The count should display what? 3. Okay, now let's save this, execute this again. Enter book id 1, book price I'm entering as 5,000. Book id 2, book price I'm entering 6,000. Book id 3, book price I am entering 4,000. Okay, so book id, book number of books till now is 3. Okay, so in this way you can use static variable and static function, member function, to count the number of books. Okay, so I hope this is clear to everyone. If you have any doubt, any query, you can ask in the comment box. Okay, and you can have this, you can declare this is static variable. Okay, you can declare this static variable inside the class. Okay, this will be the static member function. Okay, so you can try it on your own, and if you have any doubt, you can ask. Okay, that's it for today. So don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you.